Welcome to Java programming session, and in this session we are going to discuss how to write a Java program. So till now we have discussed only theoretical concepts. Now we are going to see how a Java program is to be developed. So if you know this procedure, you can write the Java programs on your computer and you can compile the Java programs, you can run the Java programs and you can see the output produced by the Java program. Then how to develop these Java programs? If you wanted to develop a Java program, then you have to follow certain sequence of steps. First, you have to create a program in a editor. So you can use any editor. So the editor may be a text editor or it may be a GUI based editor. So you can use text editors like Notepad or Notepad++ or WordPad. And similarly GUI editors, where GUI editor means graphical user interface editor, and these editors you can use. You are having variety types of editors that can be used to write Java programs. So what are those editors? Some of the popular editors are one is you can use NetBeans editor, and another one is Eclipse editor. You can use VS Code editor, and these are some of the popular editors. So most frequently people use Eclipse editors and VS Code editor. And here we write core Java programs in Notepad or WordPad and we will compile them. So first step is in developing the Java program is first you have to write a program in a editor. And second step is once your program is over, the second step is you have to compile that program to check whether your program is having any syntax or semantic errors. And once that is over, that step is over, so then we can go with the third step, that is called executing the Java program or running the Java program. So we will discuss in detail about these three steps. If you are perfect with these three steps, then you can write Java program and you can execute it comfortably. So first, creating a Java program. How do we create a Java program? So for creating a Java program, you can use, just now I told, you can use any editor. It may be a simple text editor or it may be a GUI, graphical user interface, or some people will call it as IDE editors, means integrated development environment. Integrated development environment means integration. So that environment contains integration of all the components or the softwares that are required to develop a Java program. So therefore GUI editors are also called IDE editors, integrated development editors. So here just now I told you that for core Java we will use Notepad editor or WordPad editor to write the Java program. And once you write the Java program, when you are writing a Java program, since Java is a object oriented programming language, so every program contains class in the program. So once you define a class, you are assigning a name to the class, and this name of the class is very important here, because when you are after completing the Java program, you have to save that Java programming file. So what name you are going to assign to the file? The file name of the Java program should be the same as your class name. That you have to remember. You can write the Java program in any one of the text editors or GUI editor, and then when you are saving the file after completing the writing of Java program, you have to save that file. So while saving the file, what name should be given to that file? So the file name must be the same as class name you have used in the program. So this condition you must remember it. Class name must be same as Java program file name. When you are saving the file, so you have to assign the name to your file as your class name with an extension called .java. File name followed by .java. So here file name is nothing but class name. So class name .java. Like this you have to save the file. So first you have to open the Notepad editor on your computer, type the Java program in the notepad editor, and after completing the Java program, you have to save that file with the class name .java. So for C programs, we are saving the C file with the .c extension. For CPP programs, we are saving the file containing C++ program with the .cpp extension. So when you are saving a file that contains Java program, you have to save that file with the .java extension. So here you have to remember that file name is nothing but class name .java, and it is always good practice to save all these files in a separate folder. You create one folder with your name in some logical directory. Maybe you can use a D drive or E drive or F drive based on how many logical drives you are having on your laptop or computer. Avoid C drive because C drive contains operating system programs and all the application programs that you are installing on your computer and a laptop. If any problem is coming with the operating system, again we are going to format C drive and we are going to install operating system. In that case, when you are formatting C drive, when you are installing operating system again on your computer, if you are saving your files in the C drive, C logical drive, you are going to lose your program. So it is always advisable to create a folder in the logical drives, D drive or E drive or F drive with your name and store all the Java programs in that folder. It is always safe and secured. Okay, so once this is the first step in creating the Java program, and the next step is compiling the Java program. Once you have done with writing the Java program, then the next step is compiling. So compilation is nothing but checking your program for syntax and semantic error. So after completing your program, what you have to do is you have to submit your program to the Java compiler, and Java compiler will verify your program. It reads your program line by line to check for syntax and semantic errors, and if any syntax or semantic errors are found, then compiler will generate an error. It will report errors to the user. So and so line contains some semicolon is so and so line contains syntax error where semicolon is expected, or so and so line contains syntax error, a single quote is expected there on that line. So like that, compiler will generate error report, and that error report is shown to the user. So when you are getting any errors, what you have to do, again you have to go back to the notepad editor. Whatever line compiler is telling that it is containing error, go to that line and correct that line and save your file again, and then submit your file again to the compiler. So compiler again reads your program line by line, and again it will checks whether your file contains any syntax or semantic errors. So again, if errors are found, again it will report the errors to the users. You have to modify your program, and again you have to save your file, and then you have to resubmit your file to the compiler. This process is repeated as long as your program is containing errors. Once your program is free of errors, if the compiler finds that the program contains no errors, then your program is converted into some class file, means bytecode. Class file is nothing but bytecode. So compiler, Java compiler converts your programming, Java programming statements into the bytecode. So this bytecode is written in a separate file, and that file is named as whatever file name you have assigned to your Java file, that file name .class, and your file name contains .java extension. When the compiler compiles your program, it produces .class file, means your file name is same, but instead of having .java extension, your file is having .class extension. So this .class extension represents that your file is having bytecode. Bytecode means it is an intermediate code. It is not specific to any computer. It is an intermediate code, and that bytecode is understood only by the JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So this is the job of the compiler. So how do we invoke this Java compiler to compile our program? To compile means to check our program for syntax and semantic errors. So for that you can open the command prompt, and in the command prompt go to the logical drive where your folder is there and enter into that folder from the command prompt, that is ms. Command prompt means ms-dos prompt. How to enter into the command, how to open command prompt window? Simply you can go to the run bar, and in the run bar you can type cmd and press enter. Automatically command window is opened. In the command window you can type the commands to go into your logical drive and then into your folder. Once you are there in your folder, then at that location in the command window you can type java c followed by your file name. Java C stands for Java compiler. C means compiler. You are invoking the Java compiler and you are giving your file name .java file to the compiler. Then compiler reads your program that is typed in the file, and if any errors are there, it will notify the errors, and you are modifying those errors and resubmitting to the compiler by typing the same command at the command prompt, Java C space followed by your file name .java. If no errors are there, then compiler will generate a .class file from your .java file. So this .class file is a file that contains bytecode. Bytecode means intermediate code, and that code is understood only by the Java virtual machine. So this is the second step. Are you clear about the second step? That is, we are, after writing the program, we are invoking the Java compiler by writing Java C space your file name .java. If any errors are there, those errors are reported. We are opening our file and rectifying the error, saving our file. Again, we are submitting it to the compiler by typing the same command. This process is repeated until no errors are found. Once no errors are found, then Java compiler will convert your file into a bytecode file. So that bytecode file contains the name, same as your file name, but it is having extension as .class. So this is the second step. Once you get the .class file, the next step is you have to run your program. So this is the third step, final step, where you can see the output of your Java program. So how do you run Java program? Very simple. At the command prompt, again you type the command Java. Here observe, the command is only Java. C is not there. In the previous step, we have written Java C, but here we are writing just Java. Java, simply file name without any extension. We are not writing .java, we are not writing .class. So once you write Java space followed by your file name, so automatically JVM is invoked. Previously, in the previous step, Java compiler is invoked. Now JVM, Java virtual machine, is invoked, and that will take the bytecode file. This file name represents the file containing bytecode. So that bytecode will be taken by the Java virtual machine. It will takes line by line. It reads from your program and executes your program line by line and generates the output. So this is the process. Once output is generated, you can see in the same command window, Java program output will be displayed. You can see the output of your program. Suppose if your program is not producing output as per your expectations, for whatever purpose you have written your program, as per your expectations, if the output is not produced by the Java program, means something is wrong with the statements written by you in the Java program. Then you have to go back to the first step, again modify your program statements, save the file and compile the file, and then again run the file. Means if you are not getting the expected output from your program, it is not the mistake of the computer. It is the mistake of the user who has written the instructions. So therefore, when you are not getting the required output as per your expectations, then you have to modify your program. It is user responsibility to modify the program. So this is how you can execute a Java program and you can see the output of the Java program.